that we know for them. Come
Call
on.
your neighbors, call your friends, call an enemy.
Yeah.
Tell them three.
You know, the ones that are over there all the time cussing and fussing. Hey, get lawyered up.
What's up? What's up?
They be cussing and fussing, and you be like, y'all be quiet. We trying to sleep over here. Let them know that we are here. All right. We appreciate you guys so very much. Thank you for being a part of Marriage Makes the Number 3.com. You have not yet gone to check out the Marriage Mastery course. It's available for you over at marriagemakesthenumber3.com, and there you will be able to see what we've got going on in store for you.
Yeah,
Hey, darling,
we're
how are
Pastors
you?
Greg and Michelle of Marriage Makes 3.com,
Yes,
bit.ly/MM3 links every
Talk to
Tuesday
me.
through Thursday. We are here dropping those tools to help you to get your relationships on and popping. We are pastors, we're Air Force veterans, we're authors, and we're your go-to couple
for all things relationship. Yes, indeed. And we are here tonight. I know we were a little bit behind as opposed to the last couple of times we've been on right on time or right before. But it has been an amazing day. We've gotten a lot accomplished, but we're also really tired. So we need your energy. Okay.
Come on.
Hey, give us some of the energies, because we absolutely need it. You all know that today we are celebrating Sukkah. For those of you that don't know, it is the celebration of Booths, the Feast of Tabernacles.
Feast of Booths.
Yes, and we have put together our little makeshift Sukkah over at the church, and we also do something about bringing in vegetables and stuff like that. And it's just one of those customs, those traditions that we started, kind of like when we do the leaf service every Thanksgiving time, right? And so tonight we want to come, just talk to me just a little bit. We've been talking about your book, 26 Ways to Become a Trophy Husband. And tonight is kind of not different, because if you're here, the trophy is with me. And I wanted to say this because I was thinking about this last night, honey. I was thinking that I didn't want people to, you know, a trophy husband or a trophy wife. It was usually that person that just looked good, right? They were a lot younger than the individual that they married, right? They had the beautiful look to them and all of that. And you could talk to them and there was nothing in there. It was like literally like a trophy, just like a Stepford, like a Stepford person, right? And so when we say we want you to become a trophy husband, we're not saying that we want you to become an airhead. We're not saying that we want you to just look good and that's all you have to do.
Have no substance at all.
Precisely. We want you to have a depth to you.
To the contrary. That's right.
Physical, yes, we love it. It's amazing. But you know what? That kind of stuff fades. But when you have a substance in you, when you're a man of valor, when you're a woman of valor, there's something else that you have available, something else that you can give, that you can produce, that can be multiplied, because you then start teaching those that come up under you, right? Or come after you. And so you're not just there like eye candy.
Yes.
We've seen eye candy.
You actually have some substance.
Yes.
You bring something to the table.
Yes.
That is unique, that is needful.
Absolutely.
In the relationship. In fact, you're the yin to my yang. You know, you're the apple to my orange. You know, you're the grape in my Kool-Aid. You know,
the grape in my Kool-Aid. Jesus. But yeah, all of those things. Thank you, Kimmy. So yes, if we have not said it in a while, I want you to remember that you can go over to bit.ly/MM3LINKS and get your free 15-minute encounter session with Pastor G and Pastor Me. We are over here. We do this every Tuesday through Thursday. And we want you to know that sometimes there's something a little bit deeper, something that we can't just talk about in front of everybody, out in front of God and everybody. some things need to be, I think you said it last night, some things need to be private. Some things you need to keep, keep it under wraps, because your husband or your wife may feel some kind of way if you just put it out there in front of everybody.
That's true. Some things are for a place of deeper intimacy.
Oh, come on, sir.
I can say some generic things to you that may be applicable to everybody, that may be helpful to everybody. And those things may resonate in your spirit, right? But there are some things that we can say in a closer place of intimacy.
Yes.
That is beyond that 15 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Beyond this session, that when we're talking to you one-on-one, we can speak directly to your heart.
You, yes.
And minister to your place of need.
Yes. Because that's what we do. So listen, guys, thank you so much again for coming in and being a part. We see that my cousin Shannon, I thought it was my cousin. Maybe it's my niece. Oh my God, it's my niece. Hey, Shannon. Hey, I'm a cousin and a niece. It's the same day. That's really? Special. Hello, I love you, baby girl. Shannon. Hope to be able to see you really, really, really soon. I see Pilgrim Rest Pastor is in the building. Hello, Thank you, man of God, for coming in and being a part. So, honey, we were talking about your book last night, 26 Ways to Become a Trophy Husband. And there was a part in here that I really kind of liked. And you moved my page. Were you doing something else?
Oh, no, ma'am.
Okay, because here it is.
It's still the same page.
It's still the same page. It's just that there was this very beautiful pen that was stuck in, not where I was looking for. It is, and it's a beautiful pen.
Chris Jumps the World has just joined us. Thank you for being here this evening, Chris.
Where did I get this pen?
Welcome.
From my trophy husband. And that's one of the things that my husband does. Let me just say this. My husband, every now and again, right? More now and more again, he comes home and he brings me stuff. And sometimes I'm like, honey, I don't need that, because, I'm thickums enough at this point in the game. He has plumped me up.
It's not always food, though.
But usually it's some kind of food, and it's something that tastes really good and something that I probably really like. The other day, y'all, if y'all didn't know, I love Charleston chews. Anybody know what a Charleston chew is? The long, the yellow, and the letters all the way across the top. Charleston chew. Well, that's me all day. I can eat one of those. I don't even have to put them in the freezer like some people do, because you put them in the freezer and they break up really easy. You can just kind of pick it off and eat it. My husband, I don't know where he found this, okay, because I've never seen it anywhere. He found me some Charleston chews that are made like little malt Whopper balls. Yo.
A rabbit dropping.
Rabbit. Hey, John, thank you for joining. You're so silly. John. Now I don't know if I want to eat them anymore. That's probably a good thing. But I was like, wait a minute. Where did you find these? Like, what? How did you come upon these? And not only did he come upon them, but it was like he knows I like them. And so he brought me not one, but 2 bags of it. And so I had to oblige him by at least eating 2 bags.
But not in the same setting.
No.
My honey has a way of keeping things, and allowing them, waiting for just the right moment, for the appropriate moment, right? And so I knew that we were going to be traveling.
All right.
And when you're traveling,
you need snacks.
You get a little peckish. You need a snack. You need something to kind of help them motivate. Or you're in here working.
Yeah.
And you do a lot of things that require a lot of energy.
I do.
Thank you all for being in here with us. We appreciate you joining us on this Wednesday hump day episode.
Yes, a Marriage Makes Three. I think everybody is still at Bible class, Bible school, Bible study, whatever you all do. But we hope that when you do come back and you watch this on the replay, that you let us know that you watched the replay. Just put replay in the chat. And we can go ahead and give them a little something, and then we can get out of here too and get me a nap. I didn't get no nap today, y'all. Yeah. It's not a good thing.
Naps do you
good. Does a body good. So talk to me. There was a song,
but not during the
no, not during the broadcast. Talk to me. You remember the song?
I think it's Little Anthony and the Imperial.
And the Imperial.
Talk to me.
Ooh.
Talk to me. Little Anthony had a very distinct voice.
Okay.
I mean, the guy was bad.
Yes, he was.
Really
yes,
bad.
Lord. Yes, yeah. God.
Little Anthony, and he was little.
He was very little.
But they call him Little Anthony because he was a little boy.
Yeah.
Basically, when he started singing, he had this very unique voice. Just amazing gift of song.
Hey, Bianca,
thank you for being with us, everybody.
Nessa, this is not the replay, ma'am. This is live. This is not Memorex. But thank you, though. We appreciate you. Yeah. Hey, Sister Bianca, the Lord bless you, woman of God. So, honey, here are 26 ways to become a trophy husband. Now, this man wrote the hello out of this book. Okay, as you witnessed last week and some last night. I love this part. When I saw it, talk to me because
before you start,
okay,
can I tell you all a little bit about trophy husbands? Now, when I heard the term, a friend of ours, Pastor Scott Riley, Pastor Scott Riley would use the term, and I've heard the term trophy wife. And it's usually referring, as you said, to a younger woman, perhaps married to an older guy. And the guy's saying that, man, I really married up. I really did something, you know. And he's joking with his friends, and his friends joke with him, saying, man, I don't know how you did that. So a trophy wife. So because he has a trophy wife. But so I've heard it in reference to trophy wives being really something beautiful. But Scott Riley will often do some posts where he mentions that he's just busy being a trophy husband.
Right.
So now, does it mean that as a husband or wife that you are kept? In other words, you are put up and taken care of. You don't have to do anything.
Like fine china.
And we knew, because I know Pastor Scott, that he cooks, that he adores his wife. He adores his wife, Dr. Monica. He adores her. And he will do anything for her good.
Yes.
For her wholeness.
That's true.
Right? And she has a lot of substance. So she isn't kept and he isn't kept.
Right.
And they work. They do a full-time job.
Yes.
And he takes care of the house. And he does all of these things, even though he has a 9-to-5.
Right.
And she has a 9-to-5. So they both bring something to the table.
Yes.
And so when I grabbed this title from him, I said, wow, what if every man aspired to become a trophy husband?
Yes, right? God.
Aspired to be the husband that the wife loves to come home to.
Yeah.
Knowing that things are going to be done well, or things are going to be done with excellence.
Yes.
That he's going to take the time to be romantic. He's going to take the time to be clean, to smell good, even though he does other things, even though he works as a mechanic or whatever else he may do.
Yes,
Lord. He's going to take the time to be clean and to wear that white t-shirt that fits well. He's going to take care of himself and present himself in a way that she can be pleased walking arm in arm with him.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
So when we talk about trophy husbands, that's what we're talking about. Not that somebody rides around all day while the missus is working. Is at work, right? Not taking her paycheck when she brings it. I'm talking about actually has some substance and they're in love
with each other.
Jerry Klaus in love of one another. Right? They're in love with one another.
Right, because some people are in love with themselves.
Yeah.
And that's another whole
problem.
And
it ain't about just you.
Exactly.
And if you're talking about you all the time and you never talk about your mate,
no, we got a problem.
You're not arrived yet to trophy status. But so there's a selfless quality in the trophy husband.
Yes.
That says, I promote you. I promote your highest good. I want what is best for you. I want to live so that tears come up in your eyes when you think about me.
Oh, come on, sir. What?
Don't poke her in the eye. Don't poke her in the eye so she cries.
No eye
All
poking.
right, y'all starting to come alive out there.
Who's this? Oh, Pastor Matt. God bless you, man of God. We love you all the way in Winnipeg, Canada. Love you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. And there we've got John. He said, I got to be clean, bring home the bacon, fry it up, and cater to you too. Yeah.
And you can do it.
And do. And do.
You can do it. Because you're worth it.
Exactly correct. And see, this is the thing, because I know that some people feel like, the woman's supposed to do this and do that and do the other. And I love that women do those things. But guess what? Men do those things as well. And I remember an episode, honey, of The Cosby Show. I don't know if y'all remember back in the day. Claire was a lawyer, and what's his name? Huxtable.
It was a doctor, pediatrician.
What was his name?
An obstetrician, I believe.
He was right.
Heathcliff
Huxtable. He was a pediatrician, and so they both had very intense, full-time careers that took a lot of their attention. They still had children. Thank you. Still had children, still had a home. And so I remember one time, one of the girls, the oldest girl's boyfriend had come over, and he saw her, Claire, making coffee for Cliff. And he was like, oh, that is so wonderful. I love to see a woman taking care of her man. And she said, excuse me. Let's get this straightened out right now. And she let him know that I do take coffee to my husband. But you know what? That same husband also makes coffee for me. And we do what we need to do for each other because we are equal partners in this relationship. Nobody is getting more than what the other person is supposed to get. We are doing this thing together. Right? And she had, you know how she got when she got really stern. She was that lawyer actress, being the lawyer actress and stuff. She put it out there like, listen, do not get it twisted. All right. He said, poor Elvin. So you remember.
You just look cute and be dumb.
Sandra, he said it like that was her place. Yes, he really did. Wow. Like, I love it when a woman takes care of her man. It was like, what?
Cliff was
like, please just shut your mouth. All I want is a cup of coffee. And so what we have to realize is that we're in this thing together, that there is no big I's and little U's. If we're saying it in the church, then we can't come to the house, which is God's first church.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Come on. That's good right there.
If in the first church, hey, sweet Yanti, if God's first church was the home, right? The husband and the wife together. We weren't supposed to, you all do realize that we were never really supposed to have a quote unquote church we went to, right? It wasn't until after the fall that we realized that we had to do something different. Christ had to come and he had to die for the church, which was his bride, because the first couple messed up. And so the first place that we are supposed to minister is in our home.
Come on.
And that is not just one-sided. The Bible says that we are supposed to submit ourselves one to another. And when I hear submit one to another, Christ submitted, that's a place of strength. And so some men will try to beat women down with this submission thing. And it's not a bad word. It's not a cuss word. It's not a four-letter word. It is simply that we're yielding one to the other. And he says the woman, cough, cough. You're so silly. Claire was like, did he just say that he was about to get put out? Elvin, don't look into the light. Exactly. And so, Christ submitted to the cross, right? And
he loved the church so much that he gave himself for it. And that's the example he gives us men.
Yes.
Real men.
Real
set the example Now, again, not that women can't do these things and don't do these things, but we don't hear men being told that these are roles that you need to take.
Right.
And so that's why it's written specifically for us. We're to be the example.
Exactly.
As Christ is our example.
Amen.
Right?
How about that? Huh?
All right.
How about that? So
there's some good stuff right there.
Hey, that's what we do, right?
Clear.
Okay, Heathcliff Huxtable. There's so chapter 26 is express yourself. And I love that. Mm-hmm. Talk to me. Because if we're not talking, we already have a problem, Houston. Mm-hmm. Here he says, it seems we have talked a great deal about communication. Then you are starting to grasp how important it is in marriage. Mm-hmm. It is like the hallmark. Christ wants us to talk to him. Remember in the garden when Adam and Eve had taken up, they partook. They partook. That's King James for you.
Come on.
They partook of the fruit that was forbidden, and God then come as he normally did. So this wasn't a one-time thing. This wasn't here comes God. We know he was coming because apparently he did this every single day. And he would come and talk to Adam in the cool, quote unquote,
walk with him
of the day. He heard his voice. He saw his voice coming. Whoa. Wow. He saw his voice coming, and then he hid himself. They hid themselves. Wow. Okay. So here the communication had been cut off even from back in that time. Who cut off the communication? It wasn't God. God came and said, excuse me, knock, knock, knock.
I am. God is constant. He's going to do what he's always done. Been doing.
Right. And he asked the question, where you at? Where you at though? Where you at? And they did. I was afraid. What you scared for? Don't we talk all the time? Don't we talk every day? So why all of a sudden today something was different? And when you're in a marriage, in a relationship, and the talking stops, that is your first indicator that something is wrong. Okay, we're not talking. I'm not talking to you. You ain't talking to me. Or when you do talk, I'm mad and I'm turning my shoulder. I'm turned over in the bed. When you call, I look at the phone.
Time out. What's going on here?
Okay.
Something is afoot.
Something went awry.
Something is afoot. Have you all ever heard that?
It sounds like some Into the Woods, into the thick of it. Yes, something is awry. Something is different. Something is wrong. Something is off. And whenever you get to that place in a relationship, what you need to do is now go back and find out what were the first works and do those works over again. You all remember back in the day, for those of you that are married, for those of you that have been in a relationship before, we started doing things like calling each other on the phone. And then next thing you know, we falling asleep talking to each other. Kimmy Doll says, when you wrong, people hide from correction. Instead of facing it, they hide. And it's true. And so here we're hiding from the person that we're supposed to be one with.
I was remembering, honey.
What's that?
When you said a certain little boy was hiding behind the couch.
Okay.
You know?
Yes.
He had missed the call.
He had boo-booed on himself. And it wasn't that he missed it.
Stooped down behind the couch to avoid the consequences.
And see, here's the thing. He knew that he did wrong. Because, and I know some of y'all probably like, what? Who little boy? What's happening? One of my young'uns happened to be a boy. I only got two, so it's 50-50 on who it was, right? It is what it is. One time, I'm potty training, right? And we got this thing down pat, and you have this one knuckleheaded child that instead, it's like every time they got up off the pot, that's when they wanted to use it. And so there was a time when I heard someone, after they had gotten off of the pot, right? 3 minutes after 8 p.m. was the best. Come on, talk about it. She know what she talking about when we used to have to pay them fees after a certain, before a certain time. And then later our cell phone calls were free. Yes, I feel you, girl. And so when He got off the pie. He's walking around doing this thing, and you're vigilant. You're looking like you need to go. Do you need to go? Somebody said, I got a feeling it was rolling. Y'all is a mess.
Know the kids.
And so here, let me tell you what happened. So I hear, I'm over at my desk and I'm hearing, and I'm like, oh no,
not good sign.
This little Negro is not behind the couch boo-booing on himself. He knew good and well what he was supposed to do, and that's why he hid, because he knew it was wrong. She said, sorry, Roman, I called you out. Hello,
Theo
hey,
Huxtable is with, now Theo Dawson is with us.
Oh, God bless
we were talking
you.
about the
I minored in sociology in college, and just the way he's positioned next to you, I can tell it's pure love. Oh, thank you
for that.
All
he
right.
says I'm jealous.
Who's jealous?
We don't want you to be jealous.
I can tell, and I'm jealous. Yes.
We want you to have the same.
Absolutely. Absolutely, positively. And you can have it, but you've got to do the work prior to when you get into it. Because too many people, they get into it, and that's when they decide, oh, this wasn't the right thing for me to do. But it's too late
then. It takes more work. And so there has to be a work ethic before you go in, that I'm going to do whatever it takes to make sure that this works. And it takes two, baby. It takes two.
It takes two, baby.
It takes two, baby.
It takes two.
And we were both off.
Okay, hey, it's all good.
You get the idea, is that it takes two.
Can love be an addiction to one another? Yes, it can, Theo. It absolutely can be an addiction. And so that's why some people, they need to know that they cannot be in love with love, right? Because that's what some people do. Yeah. They just I just want to be in a relationship. I don't care if it's a pizza man from the Hut, from the Domino's, from the Little Caesars. As long as he's a man, I want to be in
anybody.
It's not going to work because there's something missing, right? So let's see. Sweet Auntie said, yes, what's done in the dark is always revealed. So here we go. He's in the back of the couch knowing good God dang well that he ain't had no business boo-booing in that diaper, in that pull-up, actually.
And those sound effects stuff.
That's what I was hearing, though. And so, you start hearing, so you're like, what is this? So you got to go investigate. And when I got a hold of him, I was so mad with that little young man. I didn't know what to do. Because here's the thing. You're being trained. A pizza man is not better than a real man.
No.
A piece of pizza with a side piece of man. Come on. When you know to do right and you don't do it, that's when the repercussions are going to get you the worst. Okay? Because some people sin, quote unquote, and sin means that you miss the mark. There's a target. This is where God said, but I missed the target, right?
Yeah, and missing the mark does not put you out of the garden automatically.
Right.
It's how you deal with what you did.
Okay.
Right? Are you willing? Can you come back and say, look, we messed up real bad.
Yep.
So Adam, he hides.
Yes. Which, when you say that, they missed the mark when she ate. So if Adam would have then said, okay, let's keep it funky. If Adam would have said, girl, what you doing messing with that fruit? You knew good and goddamn well that you weren't supposed to eat that. Now look what you did. So listen, you know what? I'm going to be the sacrifice. I'm going to put you behind me. You stay, okay, you stay back there, and I'm going to go talk to God for you, because you in trouble, church. You in trouble, and you going to get me in trouble too. But that ain't what he said. No. See, she missed the mark.
Give me a bite of that.
Right. She missed the mark. But the Bible goes on to let us know that he transgressed. He knew what he was doing. He blamed her. Okay. And so here's the cycle. And now we're in this stupid cycle. And so now that I've blamed her, right? And when she is talking, she's blaming the snake. And when the snake is talking, he just getting everybody else messed up. And so here in the end, what are we doing? We're saying, God, it's your fault.
Yeah.
And God is like, wait a minute. I was right here in the garden in the cool of the day, like I was yesterday, day before that. Ever since I made you, I've been doing the same thing. You messed up. You transgressed.
You all stay right where you are. We're getting ready to move to our content. We appreciate all of you. Thank you, Theo, for subscribing, for following us here.
Yes.
If you haven't followed, you need to make sure that you're following us here in the HAPS studio, HAPS broadcast studio.
And on our Instagram page.
On Instagram. Absolutely.
Marriage Makes 3_
You too.
Because there's different stuff that goes on over there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, real stuff, real and interesting stuff. Hey,
Shout out
Melinda.
to Melinda.
Hey, sis.
Love you.
John said she had to be the finest thing to ever touch the earth because he knew what to do but ate instead.
He was just like Elvin. Ooh, baby. Oh, baby. You had, let me try it now.
All right.
You know, do Jello pudding pop. Give me some. Yeah. Just like Elvin. Dumb.
And full of yeah.
Let me
all
eat
of
some
that.
of this too.
Right. You made me smile so big today. My cheeks hurt. Okay, come on, Theo.
Man,
Thank you for joining us. All right. So chapter 26. Express yourself. If it seems we have talked a great deal about communication, then you are starting to grasp how important it is in marriage. 48% of first marriages end in divorce. 78% of second marriages fail. Why? Although the reasons vary, infidelity, lack of commitment, money debt, and abuse are the common factor in every divorce. If they are no longer able to communicate. You see, once you can talk about infidelity, and we've had couples that we've had to counsel through infidelity. And when they begin to talk again and understand what happened, how did this happen? What were the circumstances? Are we going to continue with this thing? Or we're going to go our separate ways? They begin to talk to each other and come to some realizations and make decisions.
Now, the problem there is that the infidelity is a problem. Yes.
Yes.
The circumstances that cause it are a problem. Yes.
Yes.
But I cannot hide what's been done and expect it to turn out smelling good.
Nope.
Right?
Because
it's not going to get any better. I'm behind the couch and you're behind the
on
house and
yourself.
you're grunting. You know, you made a mess, so
clean it up.
It's not going to get any better by your hiding it and complicating it by adding another
layer
affair
of food.
Right? So some people make mistakes.
Yeah,
all of us, if we would just realize, look, that we're human beings.
Yes, God.
And that we make mistakes. And it's like Sweet Yankee Cook says, what's done in the darkness
is always revealed.
Is going to come to the light. It's going to come out. If not now. And a lot of people, you know, you're not going to get away. You know, it's eventually,
yes,
all chickens come home to roost, right? It's going to come back to you.
Yep.
And it's not going to be pretty if you have hidden it for months.
Years.
Right? You're lying on top of lies. You're spending money that is meant for the household budget. You're spending your paycheck. And before long, spending your paycheck becomes spending her paycheck as well. Okay, so this thing gets really complicated. You're taking the automobile, you're renting cars, you're having
rendezvous,
you're in hotel rooms, you know, you gotten credit cards in the kids' names. And so you're having secret rendezvous with people. You're living high on the hog. You're living large. This stuff gonna come back to you.
Yep.
And it's not gonna be pretty. And so it's far better when you've made a mistake, when you realize that you've gotten off. That's the time to pull over and say, Lord, I have messed up. And I know there are going to be consequences.
Right.
So I'd rather deal with the consequences now than before they get bigger.
Amen. That's
all right. I know that was a lot.
Okay. You said money debt.
Money and debt.
Okay. If you've got issues with finances and you stop talking, it's not going to get better. It doesn't get better.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, it'll get worse because the longer that you stay from talking it out with each other, the bigger the issues start to balloon out and become.
Wow.
When you're talking about abuse, if you're abusing me, we're already having issues. Okay. And so I'm not going to communicate with you the same as if you were a loving person that I wasn't afraid of. And if I'm with you because I'm afraid of you, then that's not love.
Yeah.
That is not the way that it was intended to be. Yeshua already took the nail scars in his hands and his feet. He already took the piercing in his side so that you don't have to. Okay. How about that? Now, you said that these are factors in divorce, and all of the factors that you listed, all of them include bad communication.
Absolutely.
Period.
If you got all of that stuff, and your communication
is off.
Now, seriously, we've counseled with people, we've dealt with people. Sadie Clark, glad to have you with us this evening. Love you. We've counseled with people who had debt. We've counseled with people who have had infidelity. But the thing that made them a success in the end was the admitting of the things and a willingness to, even if we have to get someone else to help us talk through it.
Right.
I want to make it work. I want to do everything that is humanly possible because I love you more than more than my
want pride.
To do that. Oh, wow.
Okay.
Wow.
And that's a lot of the issue that we found with some of our couples is that there's a element of pride that doesn't want you to say, I was wrong.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with being wrong.
I was just, whatever it was. I was, say it. Use the word, use your words.
Use your inside and your outside voice. Can you open your mouth and say, I apologize. I was wrong. Right. And no, it's hard. Sometimes it's like, oh my God, I was wrong. But do you want to be right or do you want to be married?
Wow,
and the choice is yours. If you want to be married, you're going to have to learn the language of apology. How about that? You're going to have to learn the language of apology if you want to continue to be married. And listen, sometimes you may not even be wrong, but you want peace. Let's see. Josh said they should have found him a Yolanda.
They wouldn't have
to cheat. I'd be running home. Come on, Yolanda. Come on. And so here's the thing. It's a whole operation in these streets. Yes, when people are out here doing too much and doing it to the wrong somebody, I'm going to be right and married. Come through here. I love that.
Come on.
I'm going to be right and married. So here's the thing. Number one thing, remember that conversations connect you. Somebody put a 1 in the chat. Remember that conversations connect you.
This is the thing that binds us together.
Okay.
Is that we are linked.
Look.
We're going to talk things through.
And listen, some of us, we don't have the skill set in order to speak to one another in the way we need to, right? And this is why sometimes you need someone counseling with you to teach you how to fight fair.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But here's the thing. While we're still grappling, I know you're not used to doing it. No, not that way. The way we work. This way.
Okay, this way.
Even when we're doing this, at least we're still communicating. It may be terrible communication.
Yeah.
It may even get off into some real fights, right? But you're still talking. Let me tell you something about us as women. Once we stop fussing, once we stop engaging, we finna be done, baby. Yeah, we're just looking for the right time, the right opportunity. We're saving our monies. We're putting our coins together. We're getting our passports, right?
All in a day.
We've already gotten a
Johnny
lease.
Mathis. Sorry it had
to end this way. We got our lease in our hand. We're already ready to go.
She's not talking to you anymore.
You can come home.
No.
Bye. Any day now, you can come to the house and you will find all your stuff to the left, everything you own in a box to the left, and it's outside on the porch, on the left of the porch.
Yeah. And now if it's laying on the ground,
you're good.
You might be okay.
Yeah.
If she's laid it on the ground, threw it out on the ground, and it's scattered all over the place.
Yeah.
If she set fire to it,
you might be able to come back in. Yeah, that's true.
But if she takes the time to pack it
nicely,
6 inches, premeditated. That's premeditated, and she tapes the boxes together. You know, you
puts a forward in a dress.
Here.
Baby, let me tell you something. All the feeling has gone out of the building. Elvis is gone. Elvis is nowhere around. Elvis could care. Listen, Elvis is in Graceland and you ain't.
So long.
Bye. Hey, Prophetess Nikki.
Now listen, while we laugh about this, we don't want this for you.
Right.
And
but
this
we gotta
is
tell
why
you the
we
truth.
do this. We don't want this for you.
But we gotta tell you the
and
truth.
You can get through whatever it is, but listen, maybe you need to get some help.
Yes. MarriageMakesTheNumber3.com. Go on over and get you an encounter session, and you may need to come through a course. It is what it is. We'll help you. This is what we do. She said a circle cannot be broken. It will get dented, bent, but not broken. You will have to unconnect, take it off, but broken never. It's still a ring or a circle. It's true. But guess what? When you take it off and you say, that's it, I'm done, it's over. And some of you gentlemen, you all don't get this. You all don't understand that there's a passion in her. And when she's fussing with you, she's tussling with you, and she's telling you this and that and the other, it's all good. But as soon as she gets quiet,
it's the quiet ones you gotta watch.
What do they call it back in the day? WHUR, the quiet storm. Honey. If she set it on fire, throw it on your mama on your side chick lawn, it's a wrap. No, actually, there's still passion in that.
Yeah, there's a lot.
There's still a lot of emotion connected to that.
Raw.
Like I might still, I might still bring you back to the house if you get down on the knee and you beg, please. You are sorry. You do all of that. You might get back in.
Go back and find one of those Polydor 45 with James Brown or Atlantic James Brown.
Right.
Please.
Then you might get it. But listen, if that stuff is packed up, suitcases, boxes, and they the same size and stuff like that, baby, you might as well just forget. Don't call your mom and them to come pick you up. It is what it is. Let me see the number 2s in the chat. Number 2 is this. Where talk to me. We men are learn to be vulnerable. Okay, learn vulnerability. But a man is only. Oh, I should man. Okay,
but man ain't supposed to cry. Man got his pride. Yeah. But you're gonna have your pride by yourself.
Okay.
In the doghouse. You're gonna be out crying. The dog will be howling. You be. and you man, you talk that mess, but you get drunk and you can't beat a man talking about, man, I really love her. If you can cry drunk, good God, what's wrong with you? This is somebody you love, somebody you care about. You better get vulnerable. You better start showing some vulnerability. Swallow your pride.
Oh my God.
Get your James Brown cape if you have to. If you can't sing, put the cape on and let the James Brown music play. And please, please, please.
You're going to mime it.
As long as you playing, it's a man's world stuff. You're going to be in a world by yourself.
If she pull her Smith and Friends run Forrest, yes, Lord. If it's packed up and labeled, you in trouble, my guy. And that's the whole truth.
Yeah,
so here, let me say this to y'all ladies. If you have a man, if you have a husband that is open and vulnerable with you, you need to be thankful for that.
That's
because
true.
It's not easy for a lot of our men to open up. They've been taught, be rugged, be strong, fart, burp, do all those other things, pull my finger,
You got to keep it in.
Right. They've been taught those things. They have not been connected like we had been to our feminine side. And we all have both in us. You remember, God pulled the woman out of the man. Mm-hmm. And so the one became two, and then the two becomes one. So it's just a circle, just like Kimmy Doll was talking about. How many singers had a hit repeating begging with one word?
That's good. That's good.
I don't know.
Not like James.
But they took care of their business though, right? Yeah. And so when you have a man that is willing to be vulnerable, willing to cry, willing to open up, the one thing that you don't want to do is shut him down. Okay.
Or ever call him a punk.
Or a sissy.
Call him a crybaby.
Yes.
Don't, you are killing him. And your relationship, and there's all of you, if you're in a relationship with somebody, the fighting words, the triggers, the one thing that is going to destroy him in the relationship. Now, there's a point where a guy, you need to deal with it. You need to deal with your stuff, but you never should just break him down completely. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Don't talk about his stuff. Ooh. There's some things that you have to, no matter how mad you get,
do not
go there.
Hit below the belt.
That's good.
Sweet Auntie says, and don't throw his feelings and vulnerability back in his face. Because if you want to lose him, that's the sure way that you're going to lose him. And you're going to lose him to somebody else that's going to enjoy, that's going to be happy that there's a man that is willing to open themselves up and show you their heart. Because yes, they do have things that hurt them. There are things that men cry about, that they deal with internally. And we as women, we don't really understand some of that because we put a different value. Whereas a man, when you say, you say, how you doing, sir? And they say, they talk to each other. Hey, my neighbor's so-and-so. And in church, this is where the conversation goes. Oh, you Reverend so-and-so, I'm Bishop so-and-so. I'm Apostle so-and-so, I'm Prophet so-and-so. How many folks you got in your church? Because everything is a contest. Everything is a testosterone. Everything is a pissing contest. Wow. Everything is a how much, how big, how dark, how beautiful, how whatever, because it always goes to degrees. And men, they am I telling the people the truth?
You're telling it too well. Now seriously, sometimes these are things that we don't talk about, and that's the stuff that's killing us. That's the stuff that's killing us, is that we have to learn how to be real, how to not value who we are based upon what we have
or what we do.
Because there may come a time when you can't do those things and you no longer have those things. Who are you then? Right?
Okay.
So these are things that we men, we really need to have some counsel, some direction, some instructions on how to deal with these things, because for too long they've been given to us as a value.
Right.
How many women?
Yeah. Oh yeah, come on.
Have you been within your life?
That's good.
This is what guys talk about. How many? Yeah. Well, who were you with last night?
Right. Yeah.
Why are these things? They're not important.
Right.
And in fact, what they do is suggest that you're a hoe or that you're a dog. And that's exactly what the Apostle Paul says, or equates unregenerate, unsaved men who are in the street, men who are smelling every bush, every pole,
every man
trying to on everybody's leg. Paul refers to them as equates them to dogs.
Yep, you a hoe. Oh,
that's hard.
Or B.
I know that's hard.
It is what it is.
But absolutely the truth.
It is what it is.
And there's a time when we need the raw truth, right?
Amen.
So the purpose of this is for us to begin to see how to preserve our relationships, how to make our relationships valuable, how to make them last, endure the test of time.
Amen.
Right? So there are things about us that we don't know.
True.
I don't know why I do this, but we're afraid of counseling.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to men, we have, and especially African American men, that we've been taught that somebody, I don't want another man in my business. I don't want nobody in my business, you know. And for some reason, some of us men feel like it's our job to direct, to tell women what to do, or that we're in control, and everybody's woman.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
So we really have to be mindful of what our role, what is your role? Who in the world are you?
But we
for real.
Yeah, but that's the issue, is that we pick up the role of everybody, but we forget our identity. And your identity is supposed to come from Christ. You know, the same guy that cooked on the shore for the dudes, that they all hang out with each other, they slept together, ate together, they traveled together, and there wasn't no birth. Well, I'm sure there was, because it's a but you know, it wasn't like a game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I wish a player would try to tell me what to do. On the topic of men's mental health, sometimes men need to talk to someone and not to suck it up or man up. It's true.
No, absolutely.
But we've learned that, and they've been taught that for so long. And I think it comes from even as children. Little boys are told, stop crying.
Knows that a man ain't supposed to cry.
Okay, listen, what? That you want them to grow up and be able to help you, okay, parent your children, but as soon as you see a little boy with a doll, you think, oh, he might be. No, if a little girl can play with a truck, then what's the difference with a little boy playing with a baby? Because a baby is a human in doll form. You know what I'm saying? And so when you grow up and then you have this child and he don't want to touch the baby because I might break it. Oh, it's so delicate. I don't want to change the baby. I can't do any of that. Why? It's because you didn't give him any practice. You told him that it was feminine to sit down and take care of a child. You told him to get away from the babies. You told him back in the day, you remember when women used to have babies and the men couldn't be, the fathers couldn't be anywhere in the vicinity, that it wasn't nothing to do with you. And so we've gotten to this place where we have become so patriarchal and we have become so, man, ego centered, that we forget that we are all human beings and that we have to do some things differently in order for us to get a different outcome. Hey, Sister Shirley, love you, woman of God.
Hello, Brother Al.
Talking to a professional helped me understand who I am and why I do what I do. Therapy is life-changing.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
And so many men would do so great. I have a friend, his name is Purvis. And Purvis, you can find him on Instagram. I mean, my husband, he's an amazing counselor. But sometimes we want somebody closer in age or whatever the case might be. So there are some men. And Purvis Taylor, he wrote a book called Thrival. Right. And it's basically for men that you need to not only survive the abuse, survive your growing up, survive, whatever it is that was put on you, but you need to learn how to thrive through that so that you can break out of the box, that you can grow, that you can change into being who God called you to be, instead of sitting back talking about, we all dealt with stuff as kids, as children. Some of our parents weren't who they needed to be. Some of them was too much of who they needed to be. The overbearing ones where everything was a whooping, a beating, a spanking, a hitting. Some parents, especially the dads, hate to say it, but it's the truth. Some of them would take you outside and punch you in. You want to act like a man, I'm gonna beat you like a man. Right. And so what happens is we don't feel the love and the nurturing and the care that we are supposed to get from both parents. Our father is what? A loving father, a good father. He lets you come and sit in his lap. He is El Shaddai, the many-breasted one. Yes, that's what that means. And so so why is it that we act as though men aren't supposed to cry, have feelings, have emotions? And if they do, then we're looking at them some kind of way strange. Yeah. And so we've got to come away, we got to break out of that. And that's why a lot of marriages are dealing with some of the things that they're dealing with, because you now have left your mama and your daddy, and you have brought all of your baggage, and now you have connected it up with this woman, and she got her own stuff to deal with. And so now she feels like she's trying to raise another child in the house. And I can't tell you how many women that I hear that they have birthed 2 children, and they'll say, but I feel like I got 3. Yeah. I birthed 1 child, but I feel like I got 2. Because you're now having to deal with raising a grown man because the mama and the daddy and whoever else was in their life didn't do the job in the way that it could have been done. And let's keep it funky. Some of them did the very best that they could with what they had. So we're not blaming them. But when we learn better, then we're supposed to do better. Amen. And some people feel like that if I change the script, that I'm somehow dishonoring what my grandmother or my mother or my daddy taught me. No. And you do not dishonor them by doing things better. Yes. By doing things that work for you. Sweet Yankee Cook says that my grandmother spoiled all the males in the family. Wow. They don't cook or clean. Females do all the housework. Total nonsense. Absolutely. And I totally agree. And one thing that I taught my boys was how to cook and how to clean, because I never wanted them to grow up thinking that in order for them to have a good home or a clean home or food in their belly, that they had to have a woman in order to do that. You've got to learn to be self-sufficient so that when it comes that time that you want to come together with someone, that you don't have to bow down to so you ain't gonna cook. Mm-hmm. So you're just not gonna cook nothing. That's right. If you can cook, then you can always eat. You can always feed your family. What if, God forbid, something happened and you married someone, you had children with them, and they left this life early? Mm-hmm. Do your children not eat? Or do you spend your time looking for somebody? Right. Now, I can tell you from researching genealogy, there are many cases where a man may have married because of the times and the flu and the things that folks following slavery had to deal with in slavery and then after slavery. No health care. There are men in my family who may have married 4 times after post-slavery, right? And here's the thing. It's very often you will find a person who is much older married to a girl, a young girl, because they had a house full of kids and they needed somebody to help. So when you see Color Purple, you're seeing a lot of what actually happened in the lives of people. Right. You know, married to a much older man who already has a house full of kids and the kids need to be fed. He needs somebody who's going to take care of them. So he marries a much younger woman. Yep. Now, if he doesn't die sooner, right, than her, once she has some of her own, eventually she's either going to leave or there's got to be some love there grown somewhere. Yeah. And very often you will see that they were married, one person died and they married somebody else in the same year. Yeah. And just months. Out of necessity. And if you're farming, out of necessity, absolutely. Yeah. And so that's part of our history. Right. And part of our history is not knowing some things. But again, once we know, we can do better. Sister Shirley said that bad habits should not be transferred. Amen. A lot of people need to go to therapy because we all had a hard time growing up, but most will never go because, again, they don't want to face the past or to end up or to open up other traumas in their life. Is true. She said, facts. My grandfather was 42. My grandmother was 24 when they got married. See, so out of necessity. And listen, I didn't just teach the boys that you need to learn how to cook and wash dishes and stuff. My girls was out there on their riding lawnmower too. They had to go and get wood because we had a fireplace. We had a riding lawnmower. Sling blade. I had a hard coming. You're so silly, right? They had to go out. They had to learn how to change tires. They had to cut the lawn. They had to gather wood, cut wood. We had an axe and everything. Girl, we lived in the country. We lived way in the country. Yeah. I don't live in the country no more. After the prophet said that I was coming up out of the country, I came about. Yes, God.
Thank you for coming
Amen.
out.
She said, and Grandpa had 9 children before they married, and they had 5 more together. Ooh, yeah.
And the tragedy of history is that we don't learn from history.
From it, right? We're still doing the same. But we're doing the same
thing in reverse.
Yep.
Now there are young people who are still making them.
Yep.
Still dropping them. I mean, you know. Yep. They're young men. And multiple women.
Right.
And they ain't got 22 children.
And ain't taking care of none of them children. Listen, everybody. I'm Pastor Michelle. This is my sweet husband, Pastor G. We're spiritual relationship counselors. We are veterans of the United States Air Force. We're authors. We're local pastors. Yes. And we're your go-to couple for all things relationship. We talk tonight. Talk to me. Communication. When we're in a relationship, we're in a marriage, we're going to have to learn how to talk to each other. The saying is, Shirley says, do you give them fish to eat or teach them to fish so they can always be able to feed themselves and never go hungry? That is the moral of the story. We want you to know that we have available to you for sale 26 ways to become a trophy husband. Now, these are some things that are going to help you as a man. Is going to help you to get back to the place where you can stand in the place of God, where you know who you are, because your identity as a son of God will become manifest. For you ladies that are watching, this is a good book for you as well, because what it's going to do is going to show you through a man's point of view what you need to be looking for in that gentleman that might be courting you, that gentleman that wants to date you, that one that's been after you. Is he really husband material? Some of us, just because he look good, we think that we want to marry him. But guess what? He doesn't have any character. He doesn't have any stability. He doesn't have the
J-O-B.
Oh Lord. And y'all know that God gave
work ethic, my friend.
God gave Adam a job before he gave him a wife. And the church said, amen. Find us at marriagemakes3.com, bit.ly/MM3LINKS. Over there, you will find a way to get to the book. You will also find Relax, Relate, Communicate. And this is one of those things that we use, a tool with our couples. It's going to help you. It's going to bless you. With it, you also get the relationship reconnect checklist. And I think maybe tomorrow we'll go through the checklist, some of them, so you all will know, because some things that you talk about don't need to be talked about right now. Some things you need to table. Some things you need to learn the language of apology so that you can get past this and move on to love and happiness, right? So, also known as, these two are the most talented, fabulous, and giving people. Oh,
thank you.
I love you. We got a hug award. Thank you. I love it.
Thank you, Shirley.
Thank you so much, Shirley.
Guys, earlier this year, or just a few months ago, Shirley came all the way to Alabama and
we
met
got
with
to
us
meet her
in Birmingham. We
got
to meet her face to face.
That was so beautiful.
And she didn't catfish us. She's just as sweet in person as you see she is
here on absolutely. And let me also say that we will be, for those of you that live in the New York, New Jersey area, we will be in Keyport, New Jersey. Or somewhere there's about.
Next week.
Keyport, New Jersey. So if that is someplace that you are, we want to meet you. Let's meet for lunch. She said they coming to see me. Keyport, New Jersey. And then we will also be coming to Pennsylvania. You're going to be able to see, there's going to be a flyer out here really soon. We're doing a women's retreat in Pennsylvania.
That's right.
And then we'll be ministering at the church there on that Sunday morning. So please, ma'am, please, sir, if you're in those areas, let us know. Hit us up in the inbox so that we can meet you all. It'll be great. We can sit down, eat lunch. What part of Pennsylvania? We will be in Northumberland, Pennsylvania.
Also Philadelphia.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know in Philadelphia what part yet, but we'll figure it out. It's like 2 hours away from Northumberland. I do know that. Born and raised on the playground is where I spent most of my days, chilling, relaxing.
I don't know.
A couple of dudes and no good started making trouble in my neighborhood. They got in one little one and got scared. Moving with your uncle and your auntie in Bel Air.
Okay. All right. We'll leave that to Willie. We'll leave that to Willie. Take y'all. Philly is 30
minutes from you. Okay.
So you'll do the 30 minutes.
Yes.
You'll do the 30 minutes, right?
Yes, absolutely.
All right. We'll look forward to meeting. I'm sorry. That was horrible. I know. We love y'all. Didn't know the words.
We're liable to break out into song, and it may not always be a song that's, Motown. It is what it is.
Absolutely.
It is what it
is.
You can find us at marriagemakesthenumber3.com. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell somebody that we are here Tuesday through Thursday and that we're giving you these tools so that your relationships can be on and popping. We certainly appreciate you guys. And you know what we always say here?
God loves you.
Who?
He does. God.
Do y'all remember that preacher?
Kimmy knows who that is.
Do y'all remember that preacher that been on TV in the middle of the night? Let me say this.
Al a love hug for us, please.
Let me say this and let's go. You be asleep. You had left the TV on by mistake, and the TV is watching you instead of you watching it. And then the next thing you know, you hear and you bust up out of your sleep like, what? It's that preacher.
God loves
you.
And we
love you.
And ain't a thing you can do about it.
Up in here. We love you. She said, oh my God, I forgot about him.
So I don't know who that is going to meet us in Philly, but they said absolutely.
Hey, it is what Kimmy or something like that. Y'all sang our song last night. I hadn't heard that in at least 8 months. Has it been 8 months? It is what it is. Oh, Lord. See, y'all know what we be talking about. Y'all just be playing them games. We love you guys, though.
We do.
And we'll see you tomorrow night. Happy Sukkah.
Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to
there you go.
Good night, sweetheart. Yes, it's time to go. We hate to leave you, but we really must go. Good night, sweetheart. Good night. We love you all so much. Have a great night, everybody.
I love you guys. Good night.
It's Kimmy's fault.
It's Kimmy's fault.
Kimmy.